Hola, boa tarde. Hello everyone. Bowen here from Lisbon, Portugal. Today I'm going to talk about something in English. I haven't been really updated on my English channel for a while, other than going out. A couple of weeks ago, I went to Aliceira. Had a good time with my friend. And today, I want to talk about the life here in Portugal, because I've been here for exactly 8 months. There are a lot of my friends from Canada or any other part of the world, viewers asking me how I feel about here. I talk a lot about it in Chinese, but I don't really talk a lot about in English, because, well, first the language, second is the view that I see probably sometimes is slightly different from other Americans or Canadian feel about Portugal. Even though I've been living in Canada for 20 years, but I still, having some sort of thoughts different from authentic or real Canadian or American they feel about Portugal. So today I've decided I'm going to make English comments about Portugal from my view after being living here for eight months. A lot of my friends are asking me how I feel in terms of lifestyle, in terms of the fun thing to do here, as a person to live here. The difference between the person who lives here or the person to travel here, of course, you don't have the same feelings. And also about the language, right? At this age, if you want to move to Portugal, you have to learn Portuguese. So the last but not the least is, your family, your friends, you leave them behind, and how I feel. So there are a lot of other people talking about things, but for me, I'll start from the quality of life here. Everybody, right now, knowing Canada is a very developed country. I've been living there for 20 years, but compared to Portugal, I would say probably different age. You have a different demand for certain things. When I was young, I moved to Canada, then I worked, then I, made myself fit to the society, and learning new things and improve my language, English there. But now I'm much older, so what I need is totally different from many years ago in Canada. So what I need now is most important is the health care system, and the weather-wise. Everybody knows Canada is so cold, right? And here is a very pleasant weather, and the food. Those things are right now the most concerned things I care about. So compared to Canada, these three things here, I would say I couldn't feel better. I've been dealing with Medish insurance. The medical system here, there are two channels, right? Not like in Canada, only one channel you can choose. But in Portugal, you have two channels, the private healthcare system and also the public healthcare system, just like in Canada. So all in all, I feel this is give us an option to go different channels. At least you have some options. In Canada, there is no option. And plus, the private insurance is very affordable. So like I said, I clean my teeth. I only spend €3. The way they clean my teeth is exactly the same. Even I feel better than the way they did in Canada. So there is no any difference. And also, you know, even the here you think the income wise, average people they only make between 700. The minimum is 700, but average probably 1,000 till 1,500 in that range. It's not high, but I have local friends here, and after talking to them, and we realized, okay, Portuguese, their life theory is they don't live for money. They make money to live. So even though, like they gave me example, on Saturday you need overtime work, and the boss they wants to pay more, but the staff usually they would say no instead of taking the money and do the work. So that's for me is quite shocking, because my original background is, from China. So seems people are money oriented there. So, you know, even in Canada, if the boss asks you to overtime work and paying you more, usually people would say yes. At least my Chinese background people, like working in the maple leaf and in the factory, they will do that. But here they don't. So that's pretty amazing. And plus, you know, you think the country here, they just having this smaller grocery stores, but instead they have supermarket store kind of thing, like Intermarché, Continente, Pinco Doce. They're pretty decent. And I don't really see any big differences between Canadian one and here. And the price are very, very affordable as well. So those made your life in Portugal very pleasant. And plus, you have time to make a lot of local friends. Then they will show you to go to the local restaurants, which could be very, very affordable. And the food is very good, right? So I've done a few videos about the fish. So here you can eat, whatever good fish, like a seafood fish, like a sea fish, not the river fish. So those are basically very good for our health. And here you can eat fish if you want every day and enjoy the life like you couldn't even imagine, right? So that's something about quality of life. Then the next, I want to talk about the activities here. My friends asking me what I do here usually. Well, I'm semi-retired, but I still have something to do. But in the spare time, I travel to the places where I have never been to, like Alisela, like Aveiro, all these interesting places. It's not far. You just drive there or take a public transportation and having a day trip. and you just feel the feel local people enjoy. So that's something I always enjoy so far. 8 months, I haven't feel regretted, to be honest. So there, another thing is about the local community activities. Even though I live in I don't live in Lisbon. I live in called Greater Lisbon. So the little community by the river, but it's very active. They have all kinds of academies, they call it. It's like a community activities. They organize this, that, like learning guitar, and learning painting, and learning, you follow Zumba, you go the Pilates, all kinds of things if you want to join, but it's so cheap, like inexpensive, I would say. So it's a lot of things you can do if you want to. Well, some of the organizers here telling me, a lot of people, they're just be lazy. I mean, the local people, they don't want to go out to do things, but in reality, there are a lot of things that you can enjoy and participate, spending time and knowing more people here. So it's just incredible things that a little community can provide. I'm very pleased to be here, and you can see I do Zumba here, so it's very nice. People are very friendly too, and for me, learning Portuguese or learning Portuguese is not easy, especially for our age. But local people, they are very, very happy to hear or to know that you are trying to learn their language, even though they have just very limited English words, but they are trying to help. That's something I always feel very, very harmonious and pleasant. So I guess learning Portuguese is a long-term goal. It's not going to be easy, but for sure, I think next year, hopefully, I can carry the simple conversation. Right now, I can order, when I go to the grocery, I can buy food and tell the butchers what kind of meat I want, and that kind of thing. So you just have to pay attention to learn. That's how it works. There's no shortcut. The shortcut is the local people, and they teach you something, and then you enjoy the learning. Very last but not the least is, my family is everywhere in the world, so it's not really in Canada, but I do have some good friends back home in Canada. Hopefully they can eventually visit me and do things here with me, and I do miss them very much. Okay, so this episode is just a little bit of everything, and if you have any questions, you can leave a message, and we'll see you in the next episode.